Hi friend, thanks for stopping by. This is Christian, the Mobile RV Guy. Today we're going to be talking about a very important thing to do if you own an RV water softener. Apologize for the wind noise today. Now if you own an RV water softener and you got a manual directions that came with it, it talks about backflushing and regeneration. Now how soon should you backflush, or how often, and how often do you need to regenerate it? Well, backflushing is a simple answer. Every 2 to 3 months or so you should backflush it. Now regeneration, that's a little trickier because that's actually going to depend on you, how much water you're pumping through this. Now if you're just using this for drinking water, you could probably go several months without regenerating your water softener. But me and my family, we use it for everything. We use it for the laundry, we use it for dishes, we use it for drinking, of course, but we go through water, a lot of water, and so therefore we need to regenerate our water softener more frequent. Now if you have a larger softener, of course you can imagine you don't have to do it as often either, but we kind of went the less expensive route and got a standard water softener. Now this is an on-the-go model. I'm not sponsored by them, and this video is not sponsored by anybody, but the on-the-go model is just one that was available. There's many other models out there. They all look about the same, to be quite honest with you. And it's a pretty simple process, right? Well, there's nothing moving in here, no moving parts, nothing mechanical going on here. It's just all a chemical reaction with salt and some beads and that kind of thing. But I'll tell you what, this is a standard model, and this is going to use, every time I regenerate it, one full 26-ounce container of table salt. It doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be iodized. It can be plain salt, as you can see on the label. Now you can pick this stuff up anywhere that they sell salt, right? Or groceries. Walmart's a great place to get a lot of stuff, right? But you can also go elsewhere. Now, it's really easy to do this. It only takes about 15 minutes to do the whole process. So what we're going to do is show you what you're going to need in addition to the table salt. What you're going to need is some tools, maybe some simple hand tools, maybe a crescent wrench or channel lock joint, slip joint pliers to remove the water softener from the system. This cannot be done while your water softener is hooked up to your system. That's very important. Okay. Now once you've gotten the water softener out of the system, you'll notice, as you can see, we have a female side. This is where the water comes in. And then you have a male side. This is where the water goes out after it's been through the process. Now, if you can't remember which is which, it's usually labeled pretty clearly, right? Out and in. Now, what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to hook up a garden hose or your water hose to the water softener to backflush, which means to push backwards and go on the outlet side and push water out the inlet side. Now, I'm going to do mine for about 5 minutes. Some models, they tell you to do them for longer. Mine happens to say 2 to 5 minutes. I like to get it nice and flushed out clean. But before we do that, we've got to hook it up to the water. Now, one thing you'll notice, sorry to step out of frame there. We don't like editing video. You'll notice water hose, male end. It won't hook up to the outside. So all of these water softeners typically come with a coupler, okay? Now it's basically 2 female connectors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the outlet side. Pretty simple. Doesn't have to be overly tightened, just kind of hand tight. Then I'm going to go ahead and hook my hose right up to that coupler. Okay. And now I'm just going to turn the water on. Now I've turned the water on and I've got it on full pressure. Okay, maybe not to look too impressive, but full pressure. And I'm going to be doing this, back flushing it for about 5 minutes. I'll catch up with you in just a minute. Okay, it's been a little bit more than 5 minutes. I went ahead and shut the water off, but I ran it at full blast for 5 minutes. Shut the water off, so now I'm just going to reverse that procedure. Disconnect it, take the hose off, unhook the coupler. Now, I like to empty this thing out after I backflush it. Nothing fancy. I do not take this top off at this time. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to empty this thing out. Okay. It's going to take a few minutes. I'll come back with you when it's empty. Now, after you've emptied it out, what happens is there's little beads in here. Okay. They happen to be right now, since I turned it upside down, they're all sitting underneath this cap. So you do not want to open this cap up yet. what you're going to want to do, I kind of went ahead a little bit for you. You're going to want to go now and hook up to the inlet with water hose, the female side. Hook up to the inlet, and you're just going to want to go ahead and run water, just a little bit of pressure for about 5 seconds to knock all these beads down. So what I've done is I just cracked the water supply on just for a few seconds, just to settle those beads back down. Okay, once you go ahead and just flush a little bit more through, like I said, the normal way, just a little bit to knock these beads back down. Now you can go ahead and take your top off. You just loosen it. There's no pressure here, so it'll come off really easy. Perfect. So this is what you should see, something very similar. If you've done everything right so far, you shouldn't see any beads sitting there. So now I'm going to take my salt. This is for a standard, so I'm not going to have to worry about measuring because it's all going to go in here. Just going to slowly, carefully just pour it all in there. Alright, so I went ahead and hooked up my water hose again to the inside. Now you can see I got it on a very, very low flow. Basically, you do not want to blow everything out that you just put in there. So you're just going to put it on lightly, small pressure to where it just barely clears the case of the softener. And we're going to let this sit here for probably a couple, 2-3 minutes, just running at this pace. And every once in a while, just reach in there, taste the water. The regeneration cycle is complete when you no longer taste salty water coming out of the water softener. I've been letting this run for about 10 to 15 minutes actually now, and I'm going to try the water, my scientific test. Alright, no more salt taste. Now we're done. Okay, there you have it. That's how you back flush and regenerate your water softener. Now, there's one more thing we didn't talk about. It's called iron out. It's something that's recommended by the supplier to add to the water. I didn't have any of that. But if you find it, add a couple teaspoons of that before you add your salt in. Now, the only thing left to do is put this thing back into the water system for my rig and use a test strip and make sure it's working properly. Listen, I just wanted to thank you for stopping by again. I was not sponsored by anybody. This On The Go brand is just the one that I bought. There's plenty other ones out there. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Even better yet, share it with your friends. Keep an eye out. We got plenty of videos coming your way. Hey, thanks for stopping by Lollygagging Life.